Hi guys, this is Steve Good. Please visit my blog at www.scrollsawworkshop.blogspot.com. In today's video, I was in the process of making a frame for a small desk mirror that I was going to create a pattern for the website. And I was just about to the point of starting to decorate the frame, and I thought it would be a good idea to go ahead and show you how I use clip art to decorate my scroll saw patterns. And so that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to go ahead and show you here. This will be the basic frame of the mirror. It'll be a round mirror that sits in the middle of this frame. And it's a little plain. And the way I usually make scrolled patterns is by using clip art. And as you can see on the next page here, I've got several pieces of clip art that I've just designed over the years and copied from other patterns, and just small snippets that I can take and rearrange into my patterns to make them look the way I want. Now I've got dozens of these small pieces of clip art, and I just grabbed a few of them and threw them on this page to try to make up my mind what I was going to do with them. So here's what I do. I'll take and build the basic frame, whether it be a mirror in this case or a clock or whatever I'm trying to do, and I'll go ahead and load the clip art up on the page after that. And then I can come over to these pieces and start to get an idea of what I want to work with. And what I'll do is I'll click on one of these and then right click and copy it, go back to the page with the frame, right click and paste it. Now I've got this piece of clip art on the page, and I can begin to assemble it to my frame. In this case, it looks a little small for what I want to do with it, so I'm going to grab this bottom right handle and make it a little bigger. And a lot of times what I'll do is, to keep everything even, I'll go ahead and hit the P key, which centers things into the page. So with that centered, I'll use my up arrow to go ahead and move this little crown to the top of our pattern. And I'll get it about where I want it, and we'll just leave it there. So now I've begun to assemble the pattern the way I want it. Now sometimes I'll go ahead and select both of these and weld them together now, and sometimes I'll wait. But in this case, I think I'll go ahead and weld these together. So I've clicked on the smaller piece of clip art, hold down the shift key, and click on the frame, and that will select everything. Or I could have just drug the lasso using the pick tool around the frame if I'd have wanted. Then I'll go up here to my weld key, and I'll weld that crown to the top of this frame. Now what I'll do is I'll go back to the next page and I'll pick my next piece of clip art, and I think in this case I'm going to use the leaf pattern. I'm going to right click, copy, go back to page 2, right click, paste, and I think what I'm going to do just to see if I like it is I'm going to actually take this leaf pattern and run it around the frame. And in this case, it's not setting at exactly the right angle I want, so I'll go ahead and double click on it to bring up my rotation arrows, and I'm going to move this around to right about there. I think that's about what I want. Now what I need to do is, as I go along, of course, I'm going to want to keep both sides of this frame balanced with my clip art. So with this small leaf pattern selected, I can bring up my transformation docker, which in this case I can go to let's see, Windows, Dockers, and down to my transformation. In this case I was going to use rotate, and you can see it's already selected because I already have the docker open, but this is how you would get to it. And in my transformation docker right here, what I want to do is flip this around, mirror it so I can put it on the other side. So I'm going to go up here to the scale and mirror icon, click on that, and in the scale I want to leave it at 100% because I don't want to change the size of it, and I want to make sure this mirror icon button is depressed. And then once I do that, I can hit apply to duplicate, and it'll create that pattern as a mirror of itself. So now I've got the leaf to put on the other side. Now to keep this balanced and everything even, what I'll do a lot of times is I'll drag down a guideline and put it right below the first leaf. I'll go to View, Snap to Guidelines, and turn that on. And now you can see when I move this leaf close to these guidelines, it'll lock into that guideline, and I can move it over to, and I know I've got the bottom on that line. Then I can take the other leaf, put it on the bottom of that line, move it over to about the same side position as the other one, and I know I've got them squared up at the bottom, and it just keeps them looking nice and even. Okay, so that's the beginning of the pattern. I'm not going to weld these together right now, but what I think I will do is go ahead and use this leaf pattern on around the frame. So I'm going to go ahead and right click on, or I'm going to click on it with my pick tool, right click and drag a copy of it, and I'm going to click copy here away so I can create another one. Now again, I'm going to need to rotate this to get it in the position I want, so I'm going to do it about like that. And I also think I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller than the one below it. So let's see if we can make this line up about like I like it. And I've got it rotated a little too far, so I'm going to double click on it again, rotate it back a little bit, position it approximately how I want it. I think I've got it a little small, so I'm going to go just a little bit bigger with it so I can get it to fit over right here. And I'm going to move it down just a little, and that's pretty close to what I want. So I'm going to left click on it. Again, I'm going to go over to my scale and mirror, and with the mirror selected, apply to duplicate, and I'm going to move it over and position it in approximately the same place as the other one. Now again, I can go ahead and take this line that I used down here, move it up to here, pick my leaf, move it, get it where I want it. I'll move it to the left just a little bit, and I can do the same with this one to where I get them pretty much the same on each side. And I'm going to do that one more time. I'm going to go ahead and left click, copy. I'm going to rotate this one a little bit more to go ahead and move it on around the pattern, and that's pretty close to what I want right there. With my scale and mirror and the mirror selected, apply to duplicate, and I'm going to move this over to here. And again, I'm going to use my line to make sure I've got it about where I want it. I'll snap it to that line, and that's pretty close to what I think I want. So I'm going to go ahead and take, with my pick tool, I'm going to lasso all these objects, go up to weld, and well, didn't get everything lassoed right, so let me zoom out just a little bit so I can make sure I get a hold of everything. Okay, I've got everything selected and weld, and now you can see I've got everything welded together like I want. So that's basically the frame that I think I'll make for this little mirror. And just to take you on to the rest of the project so you can see what we're doing, this will be the frame that holds the mirror, and this will be the backer for the mirror. We'll put this together, insert the mirror, and then we'll come back and put a nail through here and then into the frame so the mirror will pivot, and we'll put a base on it, and we should have a nice little desk mirror. So anyway, that's the way I would go about using clip art to decorate my projects. So I thought I would give you an example of how I do that. Hope you liked the video, and we'll see you in the next one.